Hey guys, how are you? It's Sam. Welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to be checking in on my propagations. I have a lot of stuff popping off, rooting, growing, doing all the things. Some are in water, some are in moss. Let's just jump right in and I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm not going to be focusing on myself too much in this video. We're going to be looking at the plants. I have a lot going on. I also have some stuff that's already you'll see. This is really fun. Okay, so really quick, I'm going to show you guys this. This is the Hoya that I did in a favorite Hoya video that my girlfriend had sent me off of her plant. It was cuttings and I put it in this moss. And last we checked in, there was a stem, brand new stem coming up with a new leaf on it. Well, here's that new leaf now. It's so cute. And there's another one, if it'll focus, coming in right there. And the stem is continuing to grow. But also, you guys, look what I just noticed a couple of days ago. Oh, it looks like that leaf died. There was a leaf coming in there and it died. There's another vine right here at the very edge of the pot. And I'm wondering if that's coming off of this cutting, because there is two in here, or this one. But here's a little update on this Hoya. It's pretty fun watching it grow. Does this need water? I don't know. This isn't really a propagation, but it kind of is. This guy that lives in this little enclosure, it's like in between propagation and an established plant. This is a little baby ring of fire. Look at this new leaf. Oh my gosh. But whenever I got it, it didn't have a really well established root system or anything. It was really tiny. It's actually grown quite a bit, believe it or not. That's why it's still living in moss. So I feel like this kind of counts as a propagation. I'm raising it up. I just wanted to show you guys this new leaf that it gave me because it is so gorgeous. And then he also has another new leaf coming up right there. You can see that. Super adorbs. Okay, did I get this from the same place I got the Ring of Fire? I can't remember. Baby Pariso Philodendron, Pariso Verde. Update. It wasn't very rooted because it was so teeny tiny. Just had a few small little leaves. It's growing really well, but the issue is doesn't really look like a Pariso Verde, does it? I have this one too we're going to look at. They're both kind of propagations, but in a different sense of the word. Well, I'm not sure why, but it has reverted. It hasn't given me a single variegated leaf. I mean, it came with a couple of leaves. This is the last remaining leaf that it came with that are variegated, but you can just see from there. And I have switched it around and changed the lighting, and it's getting decent light right now. Maybe I need to try low light. I don't know. In my experience, higher light typically makes variegation come in stronger. But in this case, that's not really been how it's went down. Don't know why. It looks like a Burle Marx to me now. It's really cute and I really do like it. I mean, I'm definitely going to keep it, but I'm just confused as to why it reverted so quickly. This is the new leaf, you can tell, and it's just, it's all green like all the other previous new leaves. Kind of sucks, but it is doing well. I suspect it's rooting pretty well. The root system should be much more established than it was when I got it. So does it not look like a Burle Marx? So again, obviously I really am wanting a Pariso Verde, which is why I'm showing you two different ones. This is the first one I got, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, I got this first. And then when this started growing, I just was like, wow, there's no variegation. So I ended up finding this cutting on Etsy. It was not rooted for, really reasonably priced. Just this one leaf. And it used to be so beautiful, but it's kind of starting to make its way out, I suspect. Hopefully it hangs on until the new leaf comes in. But we're just going to check because I suspect it's killed a leaf off. So I have it in moss, obviously. Like I said, there was 0 roots on it. We can say that it's rooting. Look at that. Look at that nice juicy root right there. Juicy boy. It's all furry and cute. So he is rooting, you guys. That's not an issue. So right here, we can see a growth point. If we go down in this sheath right here, I'm going to bring you guys down here so you can really see. You can't really see what I'm doing. But if we look down in the sheath, I suspect. I was just noticing. I noticed a new leaf in there a while back. And now I see this growth point. I'm like, that new leaf should have came out by now. Yep, just as I suspected, we have a dead leaf. So the first leaf that it attempted to put off after I got it, you can see here, did not make it. Turned brown. That is a goner. I'm going to remove that. We do have a really nice, healthy looking growth point right here. And it looks to be much larger in size than this little dupe here. So I'm just going to pinch this off if I can. Yes. And hopefully this will come in nice and colorful and not brown and wilted, crispy. And hopefully it's variegated. For the love of God, if this plant starts growing and then reverts on me, I give up on Pariso Verde. If you have any tips on how to keep these plants with this beautiful variegation, I could use it. All right, let's check on this guy. I swear I do have actual propagations, but I wanted to just kind of get through these first. I got these around the same time frame. I was just going through a phase where like I had all these wish list plants, but I didn't want to pay the outrageous prices for them. So I found little baby versions of them for cheaper prices. So this is Philodendron tortum. We've kind of been following along his journey on this channel since I got him about 6 months ago. And look guys, whenever we got him, he had leaves like this. This is one of his like few remaining leaves, and then they just kind of gradually got bigger like this. And then they very quickly started taking on that tortum leaf shape like this. And each new leaf that comes in, like right here is a brand new one making its way in. They come in small and they grow bigger like many other plants. Has taken on more and more of that tortum leaf shape, which is really, really exciting. Like, look how fun. So this guy is just living in this little condiment container. He's happy in here. He had like next to none in terms of roots. Yeah, here's a little update on our tortum, and he is just living in this little plastic bag, Ziploc bag situation in this little cup that he came in. This is what he was shipped to me in, and it had a little top on it. He outgrew it. Like I couldn't put the top on anymore without smashing his leaves. So I just kind of did away with the top, and I keep him in here, and he loves it. Under a grow light, he's doing really well. I think this is one of our last baby plants. So I have been on the hunt, you guys, for a variegated African violet for a couple of years. I always see like your standard green violet, but I've never come across a variegated one, and I just find them so beautiful and they're unique. You know, it's a rare find. So I held out hope for the longest time that maybe I would find one in store, but I never did. So when I was placing an order with a Etsy shop, they had little tiny baby ones. They were like under $10. They were really inexpensive, little starter violets, and look at the variegation. Like, it's literally glittery. It's like it has like sparkles and glitter in the leaves. It's so pretty. I'll put some B-roll on the screen with like a flash shining on it because it's super incredible. But it's also living in one of these little containers. It still has the lid on, but oh, and look at those purple undersides, really beautiful. Look at that. Isn't it so pretty? There's just so much going on with it to be so tiny. It has so much beauty in it, but it is doing very well. I didn't unbox this with you guys or anything. I don't actually know if I've shown this to you, but you can see all of the new little baby leaves coming in. I'm again trying to give it the correct type of lighting to keep that variegation. I bottom water this one along with my Begonia Bubbles, and it seems to do really well for me. I'm gonna smash that leaf in there. That would be very bad. We're gonna move on to my prop bag in just a moment. Guys, don't judge me, but these cuttings have been in here for like a year probably. It's a complete and utter disaster. Like, what a mess. But look at these roots. A little root porn for you guys. So we're gonna get in here and try to separate these, and I really need to pot these up if I have enough soil. We just have like a variety of things. This is actually a burl marks. It was a variegated burl marks, but it reverted instantly, kind of like my Pariso Verde. We have a Linares piece in here. We have a Hoya. I think it's a crinkle 8 that looks pretty rough. I really don't even know what all's in here, but I need to dig in there and figure it out and see what I'm gonna do with those guys. We have another little water prop vessel. Now I just took these cuttings a month or so ago. I don't know if I filmed it or not. I can't remember. But I cut this little cutting off of my squamiferum when I put him on a pole. And then this is philodendron compo. So it was ate up with mites and it lost all of its leaves. I took this cutting that had a leaf on it. If it'll focus, you guys, there's a new leaf unfurling right here. Tiny little guy, and another one right here. I just have to keep an eye on this because spider mites love these velvety plants. But yeah, so here's our root progress. We have this little root here. I think those are aerial roots. I don't know, I need to cut this up more probably because it's too long, even if it roots up really nice, to have as its own plant. You know, like, look how awkward that is. I was in a hurry when I took these, so I just kind of threw it in there. But okay, we have a rotted stick here. Don't know what that is exactly. Ew, super gooey and goopy. All right, let's look at our squamifer I'm cutting. So we have this growth point right here. My squamifer has multiple growth points on it, so this one was kind of leggy. The new roots we have here, 2 nice size ones, looking pretty good. I don't see any signs of rot or anything like that. So I'm going to pop these back down in this little vessel. They're definitely not ready to come out of water yet. They're not ready to be potted up yet. It's definitely not enough root action for me, but they're doing well. They're coming along well. I'm happy with it. So now let's take a look in this little jar that I'm actually obsessed with. Like, I love it so much. The Dollar General, my local Dollar General, got these in for, they were $3 or $5 a piece. I only picked up one at the time, and when I went back, I was like, this is perfect for plants. They were all gone, and I haven't seen them back since. But yeah, this is great for like my smaller begonias, for propagations, really anything that's tiny, because you can keep the lid all the way closed and locked for maximum humidity, or you can just kind of like leave it like this to get some airflow, or you can leave it open. And it stays really moist in here. So we have a few things going on in here. This guy rearing his head out of the container entirely is Monstera stoltipacana. Look at that new little cute leaf. These are really vigorous growers, really fast growers, really easygoing plants, and they're also really beautiful. With this beautiful silver veiny pattern on the foliage. Last time that I opened this, it was like just a couple days ago, crunched up in there, and I opened it and I watered it, and then I leave my containers open for a couple of days so it's not like sopping wet in the moss. This is in moss, by the way. So basically this plant grew out of it in the couple days that I had it open. I'm not able, I mean, I could probably stuff it down in there, but it's not going to be happy. This is the only plant in this enclosure that is like outgrowing it, which I knew was going to happen. And guys, actually, we have some roots. Do you see that? It's not even, it's so humid in here that this node is not under any type of medium or moss, and it has roots. So this is actually great roots from the humidity in this enclosure. I'm probably going to just throw these cuttings that I take off of this guy today back down in the moss in here, so they can, you know, continue doing their thing. I see that root, the root. Like, what is that? They are starting to dry up a little bit, it appears, on the tips here and here, because I've had this open now for a few days. But that's just really cool, isn't it? I don't know. I think that's really awesome. There's a new leaf going to come out of there. These are just always putting out new leaves. They're super, super good growers. Okay, we have one more right here. Am I going to cut it? Because that node for that one is pretty far down in there. I don't know. I think I am. Trying to be careful not to cut my Begonia Jula that we're about to look at next, because that is my prize and joy. But look at that. Now part of this part was in the touching the moss, but the rest of the roots were not. This node was not in the moss at all. So here's another cutting. It's much better. So now we can see down in here a little bit better also. But I have some propagations down in here. I just threw everything in here and hope for the best, and it's done really well. I'm really proud of this little jar. My Begonia Jula, I lost all the leaves on it. It's not a super finicky begonia, believe it or not, for as beautiful as it is, but it's still a begonia nonetheless. So it doesn't want to be dry for extended periods of time. And I just had like a tiny little stick. When I tell you, it was like this little chunk with no leaves on it whatsoever. Well, actually, I started it in a Ziploc bag of moss. That's what it was. And yeah, it started to grow and put out leaves. And when I got this, I transferred it over when it was just an itty bitty thing into this. And it's just absolutely taken off. Like, look at that. There's multiple different little plantlets down in here. I think one of them I actually started from a leaf, like a leaf that had fallen off of this. You can stick them down in the moss, close the lid. There's like a 50-50 chance, I guess, that will produce a little begonia plant itself just from the leaf, which is very cool. I've had this since we lived at the apartment. It's been a couple years ago, maybe even 3 at this point, I don't know. And this is the best that it has looked. These hot pink leaves, they're also sparkly. There's kind of like a iridescence to them when you shine a flash on them. Beautiful. And then they're like pink and black. So behind the Begonia Jewel, you guys are going to have to forgive me. I believe this is Philodendron Cream Splash. I had a Cream Splash and I had a Rio, I think it was the Rio cuttings. Anyway, this one died back again to a little tiny stick. I thought it was a goner. It was like rotting away and the stem was rotting. I was able to somehow get the rot to stop, like when I had like this much stem left. Threw it down in here. I mean, honestly, both of these plants I really didn't expect to do anything. I would have kicked myself if I didn't try. I believe this is the Cream Splash though, but yeah, it's doing really well. This is its newest leaf here. It's so cute. There is another new leaf coming in right here, so I'll be really happy to see what that new leaf looks like. And then I also have the top portion that broke off when my husband knocked my nepenthes off of the plant stand when we took the tent down. Yeah, so I threw the top portion. It just broke off of the rest of the plant. I just stuck that down in here a couple of months ago just to see if it would do anything. And believe it or not, it has grown. So this is a new leaf here, and it's got another one coming in right there. I know y'all probably can't see that, but needless to say, all the plants that are just kind of thrown down in here are thriving, living their best life. All right, let's just see if we can stick these guys back down in there. I might have to add a little bit of moss to the jar. I don't know. I'm not too worried about getting it buried. I don't know if that's going to stay in there because it's just going to grow right back out. I might need to take this guy out, at least the cuttings. But we're going to do that for now, and I'm going to snap it shut. Let's see if we can get down into this bag. So this bag has been going for over a year, maybe a year and a half. I threw so many random wet sticks down in here. Nothing was labeled. Literally, it was just like, I'm going to throw a bunch of crap in a bag and whatever comes of it, and I'll figure out what it is once it gives me some mature foliage, right? Because it can be hard to tell what they are when the leaves are super tiny, just growing in on a wet stick. For the longest time, everything started to grow, but I just didn't know what the heck was in here. I didn't know what any of it was. I had a couple guesses, but that's about as far as it went. So now I can kind of get a better idea of what we have in here. It's like they're all entangled in the moss together. This is actually really cool. How cool would this look in like a cabinet, or I don't know. This would look so good in a nice big enclosure, clear enclosure, even in one of those jars. Now I need something bigger. This is so nice. I've always wanted a bio orb, you guys, and this just like makes that desire even stronger. That is so cute. So this is a compo. This is a Philodendron Silver Sword. We have 2 of them here. These were both little wet sticks. They're growing in really lush and pretty. We can see the new leaves, the new growth coming in on both of these little guys. There's a new leaf about to unfurl on both of them. They're really cute. I'm assuming that this is, well, I don't know if that's the same as this. This here, I had no idea. But until this new leaf, well, actually this new leaf, which isn't that beautiful even though it's like dying off, this must be a melanochrysum. I struggled with that plant. I could not get it to be happy. All it would do was grow super leggy and shoot off like little gimp leaves that would not amount to anything or even unfurl half the time. I chopped up the stem and threw a couple of them, I'm not sure how many, down in this moss. I thought I also put a splendid or 2 wet stick down in here though. But so at first, that's initially what I thought this was till I seen these new leaves. And I'm like, no, that's too dark to be a splendid. That's melanochrysum. So I don't know what this is then. This looks different. It's definitely a philodendron of some sort, but it just looks so different. It's not the same as whatever that is. It's not a melanochrysum. It doesn't really seem to be very suede or velvet-like. I really don't know what this is. It could be a compo because I showed you a compo a little bit ago Well, here's where I put one of the other cuttings, and it's doing well. It put off both of these leaves because they were just sticks, mind you. They didn't have any foliage. Put off both of these little leaves, and then we have another unfurling right there. This one doesn't look quite as suede-y, like the texture is different from the compo, but it could just be because it's so juvenile, even though it's grown more and has more leaves than this one. The leaves are less mature on this one, so it could be philodendron compo that just hasn't got its velvet yet. It is kind of shiny or shape, but I really don't know, you guys. And then it looks like a second either melanochrysum or splendid right here with a new little cute leaf. That one's pretty teeny. There's a dead leaf. Let's remove that. Couple dead leaves. Okay. Isn't this just so cute though? And I think that's all we have. Like this little leaf is dying, so let's get that out of there. Leaf doesn't look too good. It looks like it's starting to turn black. Well, it is starting to turn black. It doesn't look like. So I should probably just cut it. Remove that. We don't want dead leaves accumulating in the moss with the plants. It just creates a perfect environment for different types of bacteria, bad bacteria. So we don't want that. I might actually spray a little bit because that leaf's a little bit sus too. I might actually spray a little bit of fungicide down in here on these guys. But that's so cute. Kind of digging it. What should we do with it, guys? I don't know. It's so beautiful. It deserves to live in something other than the Ziploc bag. But the plants just do so freaking good in Ziploc bags. You can't see anything in that bag. I really want to see if I have an enclosure or something I can put this in. You know what? Hold the phone. What if? Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. I could put this guy in something else or in a bag. It's really too beautiful to be in a bag also. But if it's for the greater good, right? What if we planted this in here? We put some more moss down in there. Well, I couldn't put too much more moss down in there, actually, or else I wouldn't be able to close the lid. But I could fill in the sides down there. Actually, you know what? But see, I don't know. I'm gonna have the same problem as I did with the Stiltopacana, not being able to close the top. Oh, there's actually some space. Okay, we can do that. You guys want to do that? We're gonna do it in a minute and make another little ecosystem in here with these aeroids. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then we can do like updates and keep up on it, keep checking on it and such. Okay, I'll be right back. I also found this container, but it's kind of like shaped awkward. It would be a task, I feel like, trying to get something down in there. The top's like more narrow than the rest. And then I have this Jello shots that I got at a gas station. I need to take some alcohol and remove the sticker and all of that because, you know, it's kind of ugly right now, but this would be great for something. I forgot I had these, so I just kind of went and dug them out. I got some New Zealand spag here. What should I do? Do I put more moss on the bottom? God, I'm scared I'm going to break something. I'm just going to stick some moss down in there, I guess, around it. I hope y'all can see. This is so cute not to display in something other than a Ziploc, you know? I really can't wait to have like a cabinet and just more places to do terrarium, vivarium type situations. I want a couple IKEA cabinets. They are so expensive. Like to get everything you need to go in them and make them look nice, a proper space to grow plants happily, it's a lot of money that goes into it. But I knew when I took my grow tent down that that's what I wanted to do. Like that was the goal. So eventually we'll get there. Okay, that's all we're going to do for now. I think that looks pretty good. What do y'all think? And we'll see what it does. I'm really excited about this. I wasn't expecting to do this at all today, but I like it. It's cute. You guys, this really has nothing to do with propagations or anything, but this is my Philodendron Florida Ghost, and I was putting my Pariso Verde back, and this guy lives beside of it, well, behind it actually. And I was looking at the new leaf it just put out. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to show my friends. I gotta show my friends. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at it. Fantastic. That's a nice leaf. The growth point right there. So I'm excited. Sometimes these, if you don't have them like on a pole or something to climb, the leaves will start getting smaller. Now this is a little bit smaller than some of the previous leaves, but still a pretty good size. It still has its shape. So I just seen that and I was like, wow, man, that is a beauty. I filmed a chore at a time video. I pulled down my Cebu blue that's in my bathroom. It gets light from our skylight. It's massive and it's been living there for 2 years. I literally had not pulled this plant down that I can think of for 2 years. So I took it down, had a bunch of runners and stuff, and I never ended up posting the video. Some of the footage ended up corrupted, so that's why. I took some cuttings as well. I put them in water, and that was a month or 2 ago as well. Again, have no real good concept of time anymore. Time just flies so fast. Before you know it, it's 6 months, and you're like, wait, that was last month. Anyways, this is a nice little start here on these roots that we're seeing, these water roots. So happy to see that. We have a couple dead leaves, but for the most part, all the leaves are alive, looking perky and beautiful. I am probably just going to make another little plant with it. Really cute. Okay, if we were going to pot up any of these propagations today in soil, this would be one that I really need to do. This is a Bipennifolium. My mother plant just gets crazy. She's crazy right now, spider mites, and she looks rough, but she was huge, very, very tall, so I'm constantly having to chop her back and take cuttings. This is one of the babies from her, and it's been in moss for just entirely too long, you guys. It's drying out way too fast, which attracts mites, which causes the leaves to come in messed up. But I've been keeping up with the watering a bit more and keeping it clear of mites. And it's growing good now. The leaves, they were coming in pretty teeny. They're coming in a good size now. This is the newest leaf here. So it's doing well. It's a very beautiful plant. I would like to have a bipen that's more full and bushy and not just like climbing up to the ceiling. So maybe this will be it. It is in a very small pot of moss. So we're just going to pull it out if we can and check and see what the roots look like, because I haven't pulled this out since I put it in here a year or longer ago. I should probably actually, if I'm not going to put it in soil, because I'm almost out of soil, I should at least probably use the rest of that sphagnum to put it in a little bit bigger of a pot. Oh yeah, look at those roots. The roots look beautiful. More root porn, yay. Yeah, the roots are really nice. That's a nice root ball right there. I mean, it's not like an excessive amount of roots or anything, but I mean, it's a really good root ball. There's no way I'm going to try to untangle this, though. Once plants live in moss for so long, the roots and the moss become one. I'm going to see if I can find it a pot and use the rest of that moss there. Hopefully it's enough. And just put it in a little bit bigger of a pot so he can stop drying out so fast. Help him and myself both. What should I put him in? I need some new pots. In terms of like planty accessories and amendments, soil amendments and things like that, pots, I really need some stuff, you guys. We don't have a ton of leftover moss here, so I can't put it in anything too much bigger, but I might be able to actually put it in this hanging planter. Is that weird? Is that a weird thing to do? Is that a weird plant to put in a hanging basket? And I don't really know where I want to hang it. Ooh, this would probably actually do well in my bathroom. This guy might do better in there than the jungle cactus. That's actually cute. Let's do it. Screw it. Screw it. Let's do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hope there's enough moss here for those. Just like scraps left. Oh wait, you know what? I do have another brick of moss, but it's the, what's it called? Safe Grow, Better Grow from Lowe's, and it sucks. I hate that moss. It is not absorbent at all. It just isn't. It doesn't absorb water. It doesn't expand. It doesn't fluff up. It doesn't retain water. It's just like crispy, full of debris, and I despise it. But I suppose I could at least fill in the rest of the pot with some just to kind of hold this guy over till maybe like spring or something. This stuff right here. No offense if you love it, but I hate it and I don't get it. Like how, in what world does this stuff absorb water? Like, it just doesn't.
That's why I love the New Zealand spag so much, because it's real premium moss, and when you put it in water, it just sucks it all up and gets super fluffy and expands, and it's wonderful. And when you water your plant in that moss, it holds onto it and retains it like it's supposed to. This, the water just seems like it passes straight on through, and it's just still dry and crispy. Like, it's wild. But we're going to use it. I'm thankful to have it right now nonetheless, because I do need it.
I really have to saturate this stuff to get it and kind of like soak it to get it to soften up any. Be right back. Okay, I literally just spent 15 minutes picking out so much debris. It's not in here, it's in the bathroom. Picking out so much debris and trash. Yes, literal trash. That's another thing about this stuff. It just, not only does it have so much debris, sticks, twigs, leaves, but it also has actual trash in it. Like, you will find plastic, paper, the most random stuff in it. That was just a small portion of the bag. Sorry to complain so much about this moss, but it just frustrates me.
I've had people ask me, like, why do you put so much water in your sphagnum moss? Like, it's not supposed to have that much water in it. Yeah. This is why. When I put water in the good moss, my New Zealand spag, it soaks it all up and absorbs it. This moss, however, is really hard to get it even wet and to absorb any of it. So I feel like I have to really drench it and let it soak and press it down in the water.
So that's why. I wring it out before I put it in the plant though, so don't worry. Okay, there he is. I don't know where I'm going to hang him yet, but I'll probably show y'all once I do it. This, believe it or not, was Propagation. This was a rescue from Lowe's. Well, they were actually going to throw it out. It was in like, I don't know, probably an 8-inch basket, I would say. And it was all dead. This is Hoya lecuminosa, by the way. Never find Hoya here, so I seen it. I was like, I think I can save that. Like, the roots are probably dead, but I can take some cuttings and have a nice little plant. So that's what I did. I brought it home. I had to throw most of it away, but I was able to get a couple cuttings off of it. I don't know how many is in here exactly. And I put it in moss and added it to this little hanging basket. I actually need to water this. It's doing pretty well, growing really good. It's shooting off some new vines, and it's really cute. It's a cute little Hoya. Oh, I was wanting to get into this, but now I'm like second guessing. This is going to take time. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Everything is like grown in here together. This is insane. Look at that. Look at that. Like, how do I even separate these guys? This crinkle 8 looks like shit, and it has no roots. Probably wasn't even down in the dang water. Like, I don't even know. This lost its leaf and is yellowing, whatever that is. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have to pot this up together. So we have, it looks like several actual burl marks in here. I think the majority of these are burly marks, and we have one random Hoya linearis right here. Like, what? What? It's stuck. I can't get it out. But yeah, the rest of these were variegated burl marks that are reverted. So I guess it's fine if I pot them up together, but I really feel like I need to separate these roots a little bit. It's crazy. It's kind of satisfying almost, though, oddly. That's going to take some work, and I don't have the time or the patience, I don't think, for it tonight. I don't know. This is just wild. We're not going to do this right now. If I end up doing it off camera, I'll come back and show you. But I guess it's fine to put all these up together since they're all burl marks, right? It's going to be weird because these roots are so close to the foliage, but I'll figure it out. I'm just going to set it down in here for now. All right, guys, that's it. It's getting dark. I got to go make dinner. The husband will be home soon. Family's coming over tomorrow. Yeah, I got a lot going on this weekend. But thank you guys for hanging out and watching. Make sure you give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you wanna. I'll see you again real soon in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.